Welcome to AviatorDB News Briefing. Today is Monday, June 15th, 2026. Here are today's top stories. Delta go around Atlanta near miss, ATC audio sparks safety debate. Fatal crash exposes medical certification fraud in general aviation. IATA warns rising OEM costs could erode airline safety margins. DC-3 suffers wing damage in ground collision at Anchorage Airport. Now for the details. A reported Delta go around Atlanta near miss has become a focal point of aviation safety discussions following the wide distribution of air traffic control, ATC, audio and flight tracking replays dated June 13, 2026. The recordings suggest a Delta Airlines arrival was ordered to execute a late missed approach due to a developing runway conflict at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International, CAT-T. While no official NTSB or FAA incident report has been released for this specific date, the event has intensified scrutiny of surface movement safety at one of the world's busiest hubs. This trending event follows several confirmed incidents involving Delta operations at the airport. The NTSB is currently investigating a separate event involving Delta Flight 2196, where a Boeing 737-900ER deviated from its approach path and aligned with a taxiway, prompting a controller-mandated go-around. While the NTSB noted the aircraft aligned with the taxiway, Delta stated the jet overflew a vacant portion of the taxiway and the crew never intended to align with it. Further complicating the safety narrative was a ground collision between a Delta Airbus A350 and an Endeavour Air CRJ-900 on adjacent taxiways. Delta confirmed the wing of the A350 made contact with the tail of the CRJ-900, resulting in aircraft damage but no injuries. These events, combined with the recent ATC audio recordings, highlight the inherent complexities of high-tempo operations at CAT-L, where controller workload and runway occupancy are under constant pressure. Aviation safety experts emphasize that go-arounds are conservative, safety-first maneuvers designed to prevent accidents. However, a late controller-initiated go-around can indicate misjudged spacing or evolving surface conflicts. While open-source radar replays provide a preliminary view of the incident, investigators rely on cockpit voice recorders and official logs to determine if separation standards were violated. A historical aviation accident involving a Cessna U-206C Stationair has resurfaced as a cautionary case study in medical certification fraud and regulatory oversight. According to a narrative analysis published by the YouTube channel Pilot Debrief, an 86-year-old pilot with severe visual impairment allegedly falsified his FAA medical certification to continue operating aircraft. During a low-cost sightseeing flight from a small-town airport in the United States, the pilot carried 5 passengers who had reportedly paid approximately $20 each for the trip. While returning to land, the aircraft failed to reach the runway and crashed into a field roughly 3/4 of a mile from the airport. All 6 occupants were killed in the accident. Medical integrity and oversight. According to the Pilot Debrief analysis, investigators discovered the pilot had 2200 visual acuity, a level described as functionally legally blind by U.S. driving standards, which was far below the minimum requirements for certification. The report indicates that the pilot's medical history contained false statements or omissions to maintain his certification. This case underscores a critical vulnerability in the FAA's medical certification process, which relies heavily on pilot self-disclosure and periodic examinations by aviation medical examiners. While the FAA has stated that self-reporting and honesty are critical to the system, falsifying a medical application remains a federal offense that can lead to certificate revocation, civil penalties, and criminal charges. Broader safety implications. Safety experts suggest that this incident highlights the risks associated with unregulated, small-scale charter operations. Passengers in general aviation are encouraged to verify whether an operator is a certificated air carrier, as informal, low-cost sightseeing offers may correlate with lower regulatory oversight. While commercial aviation maintains rigorous health screenings, this historical case serves as a reminder that the integrity of the certification system depends on the honesty of the pilot to prevent catastrophic outcomes. The International Air Transport Association has issued a warning that escalating aircraft and parts costs, coupled with razor-thin profit margins, risk eroding the financial buffers that underpin aviation safety and resilience. Speaking at an industry conference on June 14, 2026, IATA leadership highlighted a structural imbalance between airlines and original equipment manufacturers. According to IATA and Oliver Wyman data, airlines are projected to face more than $11 billion in extra costs in 2025 due to supply chain disruptions. This includes $4.2 billion in additional fuel costs as carriers operate older, less efficient aircraft longer while awaiting new deliveries, such as those in the Airbus A320 family or Boeing 737-800 fleets. IATA Chief Economist Marie Owens-Thompson has noted that the industry frequently suffers from returns below the cost of capital. This financial squeeze is compounded by currency volatility, as 55% to 60% of global airline costs are denominated in US dollars. IATA warns that these cost pressures could compromise safety buffers if airlines are forced to defer fleet modernization or increase the use of aging assets without corresponding investment. While IATA projects a 3.9% net margin for 2026, the association argues this remains fragile for a safety-critical sector. Academic research on economic pressures and airline safety performance suggests that persistent margin pressure can elevate operational risk. However, aviation regulators maintain that strict airworthiness standards and safety management systems are designed to prevent financial stress from translating into direct safety compromises. Anchorage, Alaska. A Douglas DC-3C sustained substantial damage after its right wing struck a parked tug during taxi operations at Anchorage Airport May 8th, according to the National Transportation Safety Board. The aircraft, registration N15U, had 2 occupants aboard at the time of the ground collision. Neither person was injured in the incident, which occurred during routine ground operations. The NTSB has opened a preliminary investigation into the event, designated as case ANC 26LA040. No probable cause has been determined for the collision. The DC-3 remains a workhorse of Alaskan aviation due to its rugged design and reliability in harsh conditions. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.